Welcome back to another episode of Talking to Myself. And in this episode, I'm going to be talking about speaking your truth. And in particular, why speaking your truth is so vital, especially in today's day and age. So there's a few things that I'm going to cover, and I'll just summarize them now. It's going to be what I believe speaking your truth is, a bit of a definition from my perspective, why people don't do it, the impact it can have if you don't do it, and also the benefits that come from actually doing it. And then I'm going to try and think of ways and suggest ways that you can try to do it if you don't already. So it may be a difficulty for some people, and I'm going to, based off my own experience, give my own suggestions of how you can speak your own truth. So first of all, what does it mean to speak your truth? And from my perception, speaking your truth is saying what you want in an authentic and direct way, but without insulting the person. So you do it with good intentions. Let's say your friend offers you to have a conversation, have a chat, or I don't know, someone you've not spoke to in a while, but maybe you don't really feel like doing it because, I don't know, it doesn't resonate with you, maybe you're tired, whatever. And a lot of the time, and I've been guilty of this myself, we just agree to doing that thing we don't want to do just so we don't upset the person. We go into this people-pleasing mode, which has been conditioned into us from upbringing, society, all of this stuff. We just say, yeah, sure, no problem, whatever, let's do it. And the thing is, the other person doesn't actually realise that you don't want to do this if you don't express how you truly feel. So they may think every time they message you to have a chat, you're going to say yes, and that's absolutely fine. There's no problem with that. So they keep doing it again and again and again. Maybe they do it every week, and you're not fine with it being every week. But because you've not expressed that, they keep doing it again and again. And what's happening? They think it's fine. They don't see any problem with it because they've not been made aware of it. Maybe they genuinely don't realise. And you're not enjoying it. You're doing the same thing over again. Your soul inside is crying out like, please, I don't want to do this. Just speak up. Say your truth. Say you don't want to do this. Express how you truly feel. But you're going against that. And why do we go against that? Because I said about the people pleasing. And that's a big thing. And it also feels uncomfortable. Saying no to someone. You want to be nice. You don't want to upset someone, do you? And it's that emotion, that feeling, when that gets triggered, it's so uncomfortable that we don't want to actually do it. So we resist it. We go against that, we let that feeling win, so to speak. But the funny thing is, if we were to just say what we wanted to say, that feeling actually evaporates and disappears. Because you realise it's not as bad in real life as it's made out to be in the mind. It's just getting it out. And I guess it becomes a bit of a pattern, because when we resist that thing, so that feeling, we get that uncomfortable feeling, you don't want to say no, so you just resist it. It happens again, and that feeling gets bigger the next time. That emotion inside the body, it's the trapped emotion in the body. And because each time you do that you don't say no or speak your truth, and you go against what you really want to do, that feeling gets bigger and bigger and bigger, because that root issue has not been resolved. So it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until it actually manifests in the body as like a physical misalignment, an illness, a disease, something like that, because it's your body's way of crying out like, I can't take this anymore, so please stop. But we don't listen to that. And in fact, I did have in the past, like I said, I've been guilty of this. But more recently, I've been working on this myself. So this is a journey for myself too, which is why I felt the importance of expressing this. And I'll just give a little story about my personal experience just a few days ago. So I had a friend of mine we send each other voice notes, standard. And on this one particular occasion, I received a voice note over 10 minutes long. Over 10 minutes. I thought, oh wow, that's a long voice note. Really long voice note. And I don't really like these long voice notes. My brain can't process it, and I don't want to be listening to voice notes like this all the time. And before, maybe I would have let that slide. I would have gone, yeah, it's fine, just let it go. But on this occasion, there was that uncomfortable feeling, so I sent a voice note back. Like, it felt uncomfortable saying it. But I said what I wanted to say. I said, could you please not send a 10-minute long voice note? And it was a bit hesitant. You could probably tell it in my voice. There's a bit of discomfort there. But here's the thing. I even expressed that discomfort authentically. I said, that felt uncomfortable to say, but I've been working on speaking my truth. So I think I'm along the right line. Something like that I said. And here's the thing. You think that the person's going to get upset and they're going to retaliate and they're going to hate you. But then my friend went, yeah, that's absolutely fine. I'm glad that you said that. He's not saying it word for word, but along the lines. I'm glad that you said that. And because I do that with some of my other friends, I didn't realise that it wasn't, the right, you didn't like the longer messages. And I'll bear it in mind for next time. And the key bit is, she said as well, I wouldn't have known if you didn't say that. So I'm glad that you pointed it out to me. See, that's the thing that I'm talking about, guys. The other person sometimes doesn't know how you actually feel, so they can't, change anything they're doing, whatever it may be. I'm not saying there's scenarios where people are not doing things with purpose. There's, of course, there's a very few number of people that do things being fully aware that they're doing negative things. That's the exception, but you can still communicate that with them. I'm talking about people that may be doing stuff but not be aware of what they're doing. So we're speaking the truth, because that's one, self-love, self-value, self-worth for your soul, for your internal, something inside of you. But two, it's telling them what you actually feel so they can reflect on it as well. So they can change their actions, their patterns if they need to. So that's the importance of it, because when in the long run, by not speaking our truth, we're doing them a disservice as well as us. Because people may be doing some behaviours that are not acceptable. Perhaps someone speaks to you in a way that you don't like. Perhaps they send, like I was going back to my example, long voice notes that you might not approve of or might not like. But they may just keep doing it. And it's like, actually a better example is, in my culture we have, you go to a auntie's house, an aunt's house, a cousin's house, whatever it may be. And you get offered food, desserts that they've made especially for you, especially for the others. And sometimes you don't want to have that dessert or the cake or the dinner. But we get conditioned to say yes, we'll take it, yes, every time, even though you don't want it. And the next time you go back, they go, you want dessert, you want the dinner again? You say yes, even though you don't really want it. They think, oh, it's fine, absolutely fine, because they keep saying yes, they must love my dinner, so they keep making more and more and more. And maybe you don't like the taste of the dinner. Do you like the taste of the dinner? Yeah, delicious, thank you, auntie, very nice, beautiful. So they keep making that same recipe again and again and again, not realising that you don't like it. Then perhaps there gets a time where someone further down the line, maybe they enter a school, a competition or something. Obviously this is a theoretical example to prove a point. They think their recipe's the best. They're in the cooking school, they make their recipe. I'm going to win this competition, and the judge goes, no, this is not a good dessert or a dinner. This is one of the worst desserts I've tasted. And that's almost the ultimate betrayal. They've gone. My family and friends have this whole time told me that they like my dinner, my dessert, and now this judge is saying the complete opposite. So that's just a theoretical example, but it can apply to real life, more important situations. That's why it's key. So, what can you do about it? Well, the obvious answer is speak your truth when you want to, but it's not that simple, especially when you've been so used to resisting speaking that truth, because for a lot of us, speaking the truth can feel like almost like a death, especially for speaking for my own self. Growing up, I was always a people pleaser, so saying something that someone doesn't want to hear, it's almost like you feel like you're going to get attacked for it, and this is going to be the end for you. You think they're going to, I don't know, do something stupid, lash out at you, shout at you, and that even shouting feels like a death. So it is difficult. But I think I mentioned this in a previous clip. It's all about gradually exposing yourself to that thing as well. First, you want to understand why you can't speak your truth. And for a lot of us, it's that fear of judgment, fear of upsetting someone. And once you know the root of it, you want to go into it. A good thing to do is visualize it. Feel that and visualize it with the feeling. Feel that emotion in the body of you saying no to someone. How does it feel? Where? What thoughts are coming up? Because the idea of visualizing with emotion is to understand what it's like to do it in real life. So you're almost simulating it in your mind and in your body. So when it comes to it in real life, it doesn't feel that bad because you've literally done it. It's like a training ground. Like an athlete will go to the training pitch, the court, whatever, depending on the sport. Practice, then they go to the match. It's the same. You practice in your mind, that feeling, that emotion, you rehearse it, you go into reality and you do it and it doesn't feel as bad. You're just playing out what you've already practiced then. And then step number 2 is, like I said, gradually expose yourself to such things. So if your ultimate goal is perhaps to speak your truth to your mum, let's say, your dad, a family member, about something you don't like them doing. This is, once again, a theoretical example, but it's just an example. You want to, about, let's say, it could be a topic, I don't know, you want to move out of your home, but they don't like it. And you've never expressed that to them because you were scared of what they might think. They might get hurt, they might, abandon you, whatever it may be. So you want to gradually build up to that. You may start expressing your truth on forums where people don't know you. That's a good way to start. Something where it's kind of anonymous. You might just express your truth on a poll, on a forum, saying what your opinion is about that topic, that video, that article, whatever. Then you can bump it up a bit. Express your opinion, you speak your truth in a video format on a forum or something like that. And then you may speak your truth to your friends, maybe your acquaintances at work. And then you bump it up again to your friends, your closer friends. Then you may eventually bump it up to speaking your truth to your family, but not about that particular topic, about other things. Like you didn't enjoy the dinner, you say that to them. And then you gradually keep bumping it up until you say that or do that thing that you want to do. So there are the ways that I see to do it, to overcome your fear and actually speak your truth. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. So, visualize it, feel it in the body, understand the root cause of it, where it's coming from. Once you know that, look to go into that fear of it, gradually expose yourself to it. Hope that helps. Have a good week.